We're all excited. It's kind of like Christmas Eve. We're ready for the big day tomorrow. It's the starting date. And as you can see, half of this field has already been dug and clipped and in the dryers waiting to start up in the morning.
We're very excited. This is a very unique crop. It has been, we've had a very mild winter, and looks like we've had just enough cold weather to make them dormant enough that we've had an excellent crop to this point.
Normally you'll get the cold hours through the winter to kill the outer leaves. Basically that whole plant is going to start over. But we never did get that. And so what you've got is some of these outer leaves from the original transplant have stayed on this plant, and it's causing some of this staining that you see. Some are better than others, but you see that? And a lot of this will come off during the grading and drying process.
Vidalia acreage versus whites, yellows, reds. What's the breakdown for this?
Well, I'd still say, at least for us, it's 80-20. Also, we've got yellow organics as well, Vidalia organics, and we have non-Vidalia organics. So that's another piece that we're not talking about. But in all, we're offering 5 different onions now.
Where's the acres now? 11 and a half?
I think it's 11,226 is what it was, yeah. But we got varieties now that are coming on. They're maturing early, and we're happy with that because we need more of this April window, but we need it with good onions. We want good onions out there for the consumer.
I mean, it looks like a lot of onions when you see some of these fields around here, but when you think about the onions that it takes to supply the nation, we need to think about that as well. It's not just right here, it's what's going on in Texas and those kind of things in California and the Northwest that we've got to be cognizant of and take all of that into consideration.
This is another issue we've seen in the industry this year for 2017. This is a split. You know, this onion just outgrew itself. You know, again, we've just had such perfect growing conditions. It's been so mild, and we've been within that 50-degree to 85-degree window pretty much all winter long. And that's the ideal growing temperature for these onions. That's really what kicks this onion plant off and puts it in growth stage. We saw some hail around and about, and you know, that's what my dad always says, you know, you can't count it until you get it harvested and packed and then even paid for. So we've still got a ways to go, but it's looking good.
As long as, of course, Mother Nature doesn't mess us up, I think we're very similar to what we had last year. So far, the yields look very similar to last year, and the quality's great so far. But a lot can happen between now and the time we get through getting them out of the field.
The weather's working with us, and we'll get them harvested the next 6 weeks, get them in the shelter, get them in storage, and sell part of them, store part of them. So basically, it's 2 weeks ahead. Well, we started, we actually had, we've never really plowed up many onions in March, and we actually had already plowed up over 600 acres when April the 1st.
People usually say, oh, June the 10th is when you're going to start your storage onions. Well, I think we'll be well into storage before June the 10th.
These onions have got ready quicker than any field of onions or any onions I've ever seen or had since as long as I've been growing onions, and I'm probably one of the oldest onion growers down here. And it's just, it's going to be a different deal. We're going to have to get them out quick.
We should be out of the fields and through by 10th, 15th of May.
From a retailer side of things, yeah, it's probably more favorable for them because we're starting a little earlier. Now, you know, I've had someone ask me the question the other day, does this mean we will finish earlier? And of course, the answer could be yes. I mean, there's a possibility of that.
Well, Texas has been depressed, and up in the Northwest has been very depressed, but we're seeing that their supplies and their inventories are getting a little bit lower, and so I'm seeing that yellow market creep up a little bit. So as Mexico and Texas kind of steps out, I'm looking for us to be one of the only folks in the game with the onions come, latter part of April and May.
Yeah, these onions are good. They're gonna cut a lot of tonnage. There's gonna be a lot of onions out here. We just plowed this field up yesterday and they look real good. I'm real proud of them.
Really, your bottom line's based off of packout, and that's the amount of good onions you sell out of an acre of onions. And the packout is going to be extremely good from all intentions now, and that's what we're excited about. We got a customer base out there for 5-7 million boxes, 40-pound boxes, you know. And we tend to get that, stick around the 5 million, a little over.
I'm not sure we're gonna have the packouts that we had last year, so I don't look for us to produce that big of a crop. But again, we're talking about a very nice crop here in Georgia this year. We're talking about one that's got good size. The size profile on the first half of this crop is excellent for the bulk, the jumbo, and the colossal. As we move into the mid-season varieties and the late season varieties, you're gonna see the size profile trend down to more normal sizes. You're gonna have a more normal split of bulk and to medium ratio.
It's the 25th anniversary of our trademark, or Vidalia trademark, so we're celebrating that this year also. Still have a lot of the growers that were here 25 years ago are still in business.
We watch this trademark very, very strong. I spend a lot of my time, you know, policing it. I say policing it, just looking after it, whatever, you know, chasing alleged violations and stuff like that. And we just don't play with it. We don't let nobody mess with it. That's trademark.
We had 2 guys that came this morning from Taylor County, and I think they told me they drove 2 hours or something like that, just to come, and they wanted to go through and they wanted to ride through and see a field. You know, I had to explain to them they couldn't actually stop and go in a packing shed. You know, there was conditions they couldn't go in the packing shed, and it was going to be very busy today.
We got some of the best tasting onions that we've ever had, you know. I was in some fields yesterday and cutting some, tasting them, and never tasted any as good as we got this year. The consumer's going to be very, very happy.
Let's look at the retail perspective. They're looking at a good crop coming out of Georgia. They're looking at fair prices, very promotable prices. And I would just encourage all our retail partners to really get out there and push Vidalia onions from Georgia because we've got a very good crop that's about to be put into the pipeline. So it's all something we can get behind and promote.
We've got a fine crop and we've got something to promote, so this is going to help them and help the retailer and help us too.
And to be able to have all this opportunity for people in this area to get out and grow things and deliver it and see people smile on their face because they just bitten into a Vidalia onion or they just got a hold of one of the sweet potatoes, that's really what it's all about.
Here comes your Vidalias, you get ready.
Don't wait, get up now and go get them early.